All right, we are at the Morningstar Investment Conference. I'm speaking with Jeff Ptak, who just finished his session. We're going to go over some of the things that he went over. He is the Chief Ratings Officer at Morningstar. Big job, lots of responsibilities. Today, you spoke about the ratings process at Morningstar in your session. What did you talk about?
Sure. So I talked about some of our primary managed investments rating systems, the star rating, the analyst rating, the Morningstar quantitative rating, as well as what's known as our globe rating, just to reorient some of our conference participants with those rating systems, and also importantly to talk about how well they've been serving investors out in the market, looking at the performance of those ratings in practice, which we think it's our responsibility to do.
Tell us about the globe rating system.
Yeah, the globe rating system is a system that we use to denote a fund's level of material unmanaged ESG risk. And so essentially for those who have ESG as a primary objective, you can use the globe to determine how well it is that fund is advancing those ESG objectives that you have. And so that's our rating that we introduced a few years ago, and it's become very popular in relatively short time.
And how long ago did you release it?
Yeah, so it was 2019 when the most recent version of the methodology came out.
Okay, and some of the aspects of your rating system now have a 10-year track record, correct?
That's right, yeah. So our analyst rating has a 10-year track record, and then of course the star rating predates it. It incepted in 2002 in its current form, and so there's quite a bit of track record under that. So yes, we've got a number of rating systems that have a good deal of track record under them.
Jeff, that surprises me. I thought that rating system had been around my whole career that started in the mid-90s. It only launched in 2002?
So the current version of it that we use was launched in 2002, but you're quite right that the star rating has been around for even longer than that in different forms, however.
Okay. Let's talk about some of the other initiatives you have, right?
Yeah.
Big conference. We're just getting started here today, right? What other sessions are you looking forward to?
Oh, there's a number of great ones. I think one in particular that I'm looking forward to, I suppose you could say it's by necessity, is one that I'll actually be participating in as a moderator. It's on retirement income. It's with my colleague, Christine Benz, and then a couple of experts in the field, David Blanchett, Carson Yeska. And deaccumulation, which is the topic that we'll be devoted to, is really vexing in so many ways. And Christine, Karsten, David had done such a great job of putting research out there to help people along the way. And so this will be a showcase for them to talk about that work that they've done and provide practical advice to those in retirement.
Jeff, it's such an important issue in the advisor community. Not enough attention has been paying to it right now, right?
No, I think it's an industry we do tend to focus more on accumulation. It's more exciting, and I think in some ways it seems more achievable. Whereas with the accumulation, there's so many different variables that go into it. It can be hard to distill it down to sort of a core message, and I think that's one of the reasons why it doesn't get the focus that it deserves.
You guys put out a lot of great research and a lot of great papers at Morningstar. Any papers that advisors should be aware of today?
Sure. So we put out a couple recent ones. I'll focus on one that my colleague did. Amy Arnott put out a paper on robo-advisors, a robo-advisor landscape research report. And it really does a great job of surveying the burgeoning robo-advisor industry and letting people know where, they should maybe trust their assets with, which are the robo-advisors that have the most merit, have the most to offer to them at a relatively low cost.
Okay. And could they find that paper on the Morningstar website?
They absolutely can. They can find it on our website and other sources. So they're welcome to take a look at it.
All right. Before we wrap up, I got to ask you about your podcast, The Long View. What would advisors or listeners learn from listening to your show?
Well, the Long View is a labor of love for us. My colleague, Christine Benz, who I mentioned before, she and I have been working on that for 3 years. And what they'll learn is, I think that it's tools for making investment and personal finance decisions. The showcases our guests. We are going on, I think, our 162nd guest in the podcast history, and they make it what it is. And these are academic experts. They're accomplished portfolio managers. They might be theorists in an area or an advisor who actually works with clients. What we want to deliver to listeners is practical know-how on how to build up a portfolio, draw it down, or deal with some of the other issues that are associated with accumulation, deaccumulation. It's been a really fun ride for us.
162 episodes. I know from experience that is a lot of work. How often are you putting out episodes?
We do them weekly. Yeah, so I think we find value in consistency and just continuing to churn episodes out, and we try to uphold a certain quality standard, and so far our audience has responded in ways that we found really encouraging. They keep us going. So it's been great.
Excellent. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Viewers, if you'd like to pick up a copy of the digital pass, head over to the Morningstar website for this conference and come see some of the great sessions that Jeff was talking about.